Thank you very much. You may be seated, please. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I want to thank our dear man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakilome, DSCDD, for making it possible for us to hold this event today. Why don't you give Pastor a round of applause? I also want to appreciate our highly esteemed CC members. Thank you so much for your support always. And then I want to appreciate the highly esteemed Chief Executive Officer of the LoveWorld Nation, Pastor Yemisi Kudeimbu. I'm standing on behalf of the highly esteemed Chief Executive Officer this evening to give her keynote address because she was unable to make it to the event this evening. I also want to appreciate the convener of this event, Pastor Sister Stephanie. Thank you very much. And her wonderful team. Thank you so much for all the hard work and for putting this together. So without much, let me go right into the keynote address. I'll be speaking on harnessing trust to drive global economic growth. Harnessing trust to drive global economic growth. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, captains of industry, policymakers, innovators, and investors. It is my profound honor to welcome you to this historic first edition of the LoveWorld Trade and Investment Forum, a platform birthed to redefine commerce, reshape industries, and inspire a new era of kingdom-driven economic influence across Africa and around the world. I want to appreciate the Department of Commerce for the excellence that has been brought this vision into reality. And with deep gratitude and honor to a man of God whose wisdom, teachings, and prophetic guidance continue to empower us to build systems that transform nations and generations. You will agree with me, right? Yes. Today's topic, harnessing trust to drive global economic growth, is not just timely, but speaks to the heart of sustainable development, long-term prosperity, and the type of generational impact we are divinely positioned to produce. Trust is currency. Trust is capital. Trust is power. And trust, when intentionally built and strategically deployed, is one of the most transformative economic forces on the planet. The true foundation of economic growth, trust. We live in a world where technology is advancing faster than regulation, where capital flows across borders in a flash, and where innovation is unfolding at unprecedented speed. Yet, in the midst of this rapid evolution, the most advanced economies and the fastest growing markets all rely on one invisible and priceless ingredient. Who knows what it is? Trust. Thank you. Countries rise on trust. Markets expand on trust. Partnerships thrive on trust. And businesses scale globally when trust is the backbone of their operations. Trust is the foundation of, number one, investment confidence. 2, trade facilitation. 3, policy stability. 4, long-term partnerships. 5, consumer loyalty. 6, corporate reputation. When trust is strong, opportunities multiply. When trust is weak, progress stalls. Let's look at the global trust deficit. One of the most significant business crises of our time is the erosion of trust. Across the world, people are awakening to the motives behind many businesses. Recent global crises like 2020 COVID pandemic has unearthed the driving forces behind several global industries. Their motive has not been the desire to make the world a better place indeed, but an unrestrained hunger to profit often rooted in greed. Global population reduction, and the unbridled desire to control the world's teeming population. Products that destroy lives, policies designed to manipulate, industries built on deception, and systems engineered to keep nations dependent. Put all these together and you see the reason behind the global trust deficits in different industries and the hard solutions required. Thank God for the enlightenment we have received through our man of God. Pastor has exposed the structures behind many global commercial systems, and as knowledge increases, the veil is coming off. People are seeing the world as it truly is, not as it is branded to be. Next, I'll talk about agriculture. The corruption of food. For decades, global cultural giants have manipulated food systems through harmful chemical practices and genetically modified organisms, GMOs. What should sustain life has now become a silent destroyer. Food sovereignty and food security have been endangered. We have seen genetically modified seeds engineered for dependency. We have seen crops altered in ways that damage human health. Soil depleted by profit-driven industrial farming. Entire nations are trapped in dependency on foreign seed corporations. These global corporations poisoning themselves as gatekeepers of food supply. These global corporations positioning themselves as gatekeepers of food supply. The world is now seeking authentic and organic food. This is an opportunity for Africa. This is an opportunity for believers. This is an opportunity for kingdom-minded entrepreneurs like you and I to build a Greek business founded on integrity, stewardship, and genuine care for human life. Number 2, health. The crisis of pharmacia. The pharmaceutical industry, once seen as a guardian for health, has suffered severe trust damage. Once again, the 2020 COVID pandemic exposed mass vaccination scandals, harmful drugs released for profit. The harmful impact of pseudoscience was also exposed. The deliberate poisoning of populations through fluoride. The deliberate misinformation, such as false narratives about salt and other natural foods, has undermined medical credibility. The motives behind these actions are clear. They are not accidents. They are calculated agendas driven by the deep states because of greed, their insatiable appetite to control the world, and of course, the demonic population control agenda. People are realizing that many of the world's so-called health solutions were never designed to heal or help. As a result, trust is depleted and the world is searching for credible alternatives to healthy food and trustworthy health products and services. Ladies and gentlemen, captains of industry, leaders of faith-based organizations, here is the opportunity to build trust. Set up businesses, health and medical practices founded on integrity and sound ethics. New businesses, new medical systems, and new health innovations must emerge. The ones grounded in truth, ethics, and genuine care for humanity. This is our opportunity to right the wrongs and set new standards and ethics for the purpose of rebuilding public confidence and trust in these areas of businesses. Number 3, philanthrocapitalism, the weaponization of charity. There is a new form of control that has emerged on the global stage called philanthrocapitalism. This is charity being used as a tool to influence, dominate, and manipulate nations under the guise of generosity. Global actors extend help to nations, only to use that help to leverage for political control and coercion, national control, and forcing the country to become dependent economically. The world has seen this pattern clearly in the work of people like Bill Gates. Aid is not used is used not to uplift, but to entrap. It is time for businesses to focus their CSRs on organizations that are genuinely set up to carry out philanthropic works with no conditions attached. The Chris Oyakhilome Foundation International represents the future of trustworthy global philanthropy. Yes, clap. And is restoring trust to the world of humanitarian work. No hidden or political agenda. No economic strings attached. No political or economic control. I call on business organizations to align their corporate social responsibility with institutions like COFI that stand for truth, compassion, and the uplifting of nations. Now, what must be done to build trust and drive global economic growth? To restore trust, nations and businesses must undergo a fundamental reformation. 1, build businesses on the right principles. No economy can flourish on greed. No nation can prosper where the powerful seek to control the weak. True sustainable economic growth must be rooted in integrity, transparency, and responsibility. The scripture says, "Let him that does not work not eat." This is pure capitalism, not the corrupted version shaped by monopoly and greed, but a God-centered economy where hard work is rewarded, productivity is encouraged, innovation is celebrated, human potential is maximized. This is in direct contrast to socialism, which breeds laziness, over-dependence, and national stagnation. Governments must therefore create policies that encourage productivity, enterprise, and stewardship. The gross mental output of a nation is creativity, intelligence, and innovative capacity that determines its gross domestic product. Trust grows when people see the system rewards genuine contribution. 2, I encourage business leaders to seek out and follow business tenets espoused by our president and founder of the LoveWorld Incorporated. Pastor Chris has given us timeless principles that, if embraced, it will rebuild trust in business systems worldwide. He has given insight on the following: the dignity of work, the holiness of wealth used for the gospel, the power of integrity, the wisdom to create structures that uplifts people, how to build businesses that carry divine purpose, how to use influence without manipulation, how to produce prosperity that brings freedom, not bondage. Pastor's teachings form the foundation for a trust-based kingdom economy that nations desperately need. When entrepreneurs and nations adopt these spiritual principles, trust naturally flourishes. Customers trust, investors trust, partners trust, nations trust, and economies grow. Number 3, build structures that give nations value, not burdens. Trust grows where value is visible. Nations trust those who help them rise, who also strengthen their people, empower their youths, heal and transform their communities, respect their sovereignty, build their future. This is why African-founded businesses, especially those birthed from the LoveWorld Nation, have a powerful opportunity. We can scale globally while remaining grounded in authentic spiritual and cultural values. We are not called to imitate, we are called to lead. What does this mean for you? To every business owner, every investor, every innovator, every policymaker, this is your time. This is your call to rise. This is your mandate to build and trust as your capital, trust as your currency, trust as your market advantage. The future global economy will not belong to those who merely trade. It will belong to those who people can trust. In closing, as we step into the LoveWorld Trade and Investment Forum, let this be your commitment. to build businesses that nations can rely on, to create industries that heal and uplift, to serve markets with integrity, to innovate with responsibility, to lead with righteousness, to establish systems that honor God, and to rebuild global trust. One enterprise, one policy, one nation at a time. This is how we will shape the future. This is how we will drive economic growth. This is how we will take the gospel into the nations through influence, excellence, and trusted kingdom leadership in the marketplace. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is ready, and the LoveWorld nation is prepared. Let us rise and build systems the world can trust, systems that will stand for generations. Thank you, and God bless you.
Sorry, ma'am. Please, may we have highly esteemed Sister Stephanie on stage and the highly esteemed CEO of LoveWorld back on stage for a picture and award session. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we get the camera crew ready? Thank you very much.
This is an award of honor presented to the CEO of LoveWorld, the highly esteemed Pastor Yemisi Kudembo. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.